S.U.N is a nonprofit organization designed to promote safe, healthy, and clean environment, working together with our Wilmington policemen, which are here too. I know they're here somewhere. There they are. Okay. Northeast Civic Association, our Praying Ground Community Church, to help reduce crime and to keep a safe neighborhood. We do this by having weekly community walkabouts. We have weekly family fun nights. We have after-school educational enrichment, and we provide a park for our recreational activity. And so therefore, S.U.N relies mainly on donations and pledges. So we have a box over there. So before you all leave, if you would like to donate $2 or more, we'll take more, yes. So we do have a box. My vice president is over there, and she has a box you can donate the $2. So we don't charge anybody for our barbecue tonight, but as I said, we run all these beautiful children. They live off of our donations and our pledges that we try to help every week, be a blessing to them, and to keep them off the streets. So we need your help, as you can see. And so already so many have donated and been a blessing to us. I'm excited because I thought this year was going to be like, okay, S.U.N's about over. And then all of a sudden, God just did a wonderful thing. And look at all you wonderful people that are here. So as a pastor who's been here, thank you. I've been here 15 years, and this is our 4th year with S.U.N. And this is just a blessing to see what God is doing with us this year. So at this time, we're going to call on our illustrious mayor to come, and he's going to give some remarks. And then we'd like to hear, you all to hear our S.U.N song. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm very moved by this. It's wonderful when you deal with many of the challenges that we do to come to a place where you see all this sunshine right here, and you realize that there's just so much good in our city. We have, over the past 3 or 4 days, I've been to probably 8 or 9 events where all we did was celebrate so much of what our kids can do. Been over to Helen Chambers Park a couple of times, in the Judy Johnson Park. Today I was over at Nativity Prep. And you get around these children every day and you say, there's all the hope in the world. I mean, there are so many good things. And Pastor, God bless you for all the work you do. There are people out there who just refuse to give in to the darkness, and it's not nearly as bad as some people make it look out to be. We've got so much good in this community. It is so uplifting. If you do what I do every day, and I got to tell you, I tell people, being mayor, you just got to go up there for 1 hour. It's like nothing you can imagine, the kind of things that come across your desk. But while there are challenges, there's just rays of hope all over our city, and I'm just so thrilled to be a part of this. I have to tell you, our police officers are here. They're stars wherever I go. I see our officers out of the cars engaging with the public because they care deeply about our public and our kids, and they want things to be better. And I can tell you, I've been here for 9 months now, and I see them all the time, and I've never seen people so committed to preserve security in our lives and to help our kids the way they do. They're just awesome people. And I don't want to embarrass you guys, but I'm just telling you, and it's not, wherever I go, I'll go to the roughest neighborhoods, and all of a sudden things will start to get calm, and I'll be on there, and there'll be 2 of our officers standing there talking to people, and it's just changing the dynamic in such a healthy way. So we have, I couldn't tell you, I've got the optimism of a 25-year-old. I know I'm not 25, but I really do. I think we've got so many great things we can do. Matt Meyer and I have become great friends. Matt, our county executive, who spent as much time or more than I do over here with Pastor. We just do great things together. We work cooperatively because we all feel the mission. And so I'm just pleased to be here. Pastor, thank you so much for inviting me. God bless all of you, and let's just work together to help the city so our children grow up in health and happiness. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mayor Perzicki. We're just glad to have you in this area because see what's going on.
Let me tell you, and I'm so old. I was actually on county council with Penrose back in, it was at the turn of the last century. We were together. And Penrose has been a great guy, a great champion.
Yes, he has been, yes. Okay. You guys are young. That's what it is. While he's mentioned his name, we want to thank, we had some others that were on the program to speak, but we have County Councilman Penrose Hollins, who all of you may not know, but these shirts and the hats and things that you see, our vest, is because of him and his allowing us to have a grant. A couple of years now, 2 years in a row, I believe, that we were able to get a grant from him. He believed in us way in the very beginning, back in the first year. And so I've been grateful to him every year, and maybe we can do it again this year. we run out of money. You see, my shirts get a little dingy. So I bought some new ones today, but they have to get sun on the front. But, you know, because of him, though, and I really appreciate the fact that he listened to all of a friend of mine. I went to him, and he listened, and he said, it sounded like a good idea to me, and we went forth. So we just need to give him a hand and thank him again for coming. He's actually has spoken at our event before, I believe so. And then we also have Brandywine City District Superintendent Mark Hallidick, and he came with the teachers today, so let's give a hand for him. And we have State Representative Sean Matthews. He's here as well. I'm not sure where. Raise your hand. Is he there? He's hiding. He's hiding. He's a teacher, I hear. So that's a good thing. From Lombardi. Okay, he's a teacher at Lombardi. Awesome. All right. We're now going to sing our Sun song for you, and then we'll have our dedication. You all ready? Oh, we lost copy. That's what. Oh, Jesus. Okay, where did he go?
They need copies of the words.
Yeah, we gave out copies. Everybody get a copy of the words? Nope, my son had to go get a cord. I thought he had it. Well, while he's running to get the cord and he's running back, would any of you three like to have a word? Our superintendent? He's going to dedicate, so yeah, we'll let you have a word while we're waiting. Here it comes. Go ahead.
I can take no credit on behalf of the district for this partnership. The credit goes to Lombardi's staff and leadership team. Thank you. I've been superintendent 8 years, and we've been talking about partnerships a lot more words than action. This is action. A connection between a public school that's in the suburbs serving at least some students, many of which are behind us here today, who attend a school in the suburbs, and a faculty working with Pastor Ben, with the city of Wilmington, specifically the police department, who have played a large role in this partnership, along with the county and others. So it's nice to finally see action happening where partnerships lead to opportunities like this space here for kids. That's what it's all about. So I thank everyone involved, in particular our Lombardi faculty. Thank you.
All right, we have some new children. I don't know if they know the song or not, but we're going to let them all sing. You going to move up, son? Move up. Everybody move up. Try and move up. Move up. Move up. Oh, don't be scared. Where my adults at? Come on, Mount Mark. Where's we hide for? Why are you sitting there? Thank you. I'm a retired music teacher, so you can see we have to have a song. We cannot be without a song. All right. Thank you, children. Beautiful job. We can have some new singers. Thank you, new singers. All right. Shh. You have to be quiet. We're going to go on with the program. Shh. 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 All right. Now we're going to ask our county executive, Matt Meyer, who's been an awesome support of S.U.N. He has walked with us through the streets many times. Oh, we're going to hear from, I'm sorry, Councilman Hollins wants to come first. That's right. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. It is a privilege for me to join Pastor Ben and S.U.N. this afternoon, and as well as to be here with Dr. Holodick from the Brandywine School District, all of the teachers from Lombardi, as well as the county executive and the mayor of our city. I'm reminded about a few days ago, the mayor and the county exec and I, we were invited to Sally's school, and there was a speaker there. His name is Brian Stevenson. Brian Stevenson is an African-American young man who grew up in Sussex County, Delaware, and he's the author of a book called Just Mercy. Just Mercy has become one of the bestsellers in the country, and there's an awful lot of organizations that are looking at this book to guide us of policy and how to treat human beings. And as we were at Sally's a few days ago, Brian talked about one of the things we need to do if we want to bring change is proximity. Proximity simply means being close to, being near. And I think that being here in this park today sort of exemplifies what Brian Stevenson is talking about. We can read about it in the newspaper, we can see it on television, get some idea, but unless we're in proximity where the challenges really are, it's going to be very difficult for us to really have a true understanding and to feel what's going on. And I'm happy to say that the county exec has only been in office for the last 8 or 9 months, and this is the second time that we have been here within the last couple of months. So this community is important to us as any other community in Newcastle County. I would also admit to you that none of us really have the answers to the violence that is really plaguing our communities. We just don't have the answers. The preachers are praying, the police officers are strategizing, communities are organizing, but we still don't have the answer. So when I think about Brian's book, when he talked about Just Mercy, it's a very true story, and it talks about the potential of grace to redeem all of us. So we're going to take all of us together, even though we don't have the answers. What we do know is that if we do nothing, we know what would happen if we do nothing. So that is not an option. So all of us here together will continue to be supportive of Reverend Ben. She's put me on the spot. I have to give up this grant again this year because she would tell everybody I didn't. So we're just pleased to be here and be part of this community, and may God bless you, and hopefully we can get a handle on what's going on here and turn this corner. Thank you all very much for being here.
See, the Bible says speak those things that are not as though they were, so I have to speak it. Things happen when you speak it. Thank you so much, Councilman Hollins. We appreciate it. Okay, now we're ready for the dedication. And we also put our council executive on the spot where he's going to dedicate 2 things, actually. But this man has been, again, as I say, a supporter of S.U.N. this year, walked with us several times. He rides his bike to meet us down by the church, and has just been a blessing to us. So when he found out the old basketball court was all torn up because some of our children don't want to take care of things, but we're trying to teach them to do better. And he said, look, I'll get you another court, because I gave up. I'm like, I'm not buying another one. We took a lot of the monies that we used for that, so I'm like, that's it. But he said, no, I'll get you another one. So now we have a much better basketball court because it's got the kind that sticks in the ground, you know. So my son tried to help with that one. So he also is going to dedicate our signs. We have new park signs to put up for our rules of the park that our Vice President, Antoinette Douglas, she purchased those. And so we're going to dedicate all that at the same time. So we actually give him a hand as he comes to dedicate our basketball court and also our park signs.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor Ben. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Before I start, I just got to shout out the teachers. 3 years ago, I was teaching down the street at Prestige Academy, 6th and 7th grade math. And I started the year when a student wouldn't do his homework. His homework, it was an all-boys school, a few days in a row, I would follow them home. I would go to their house. Many of them lived here in this neighborhood. I got to admit, by the end of the school year, I wasn't doing it as often, not because I didn't care, but because it's a lot of work. And for that many of you to be here this often, I'm seeing you here in person. I'm seeing you here on social media. When I started teaching back in 1996, what I saw were schools that were expected to handle problems much more extensive than schools had ever handled before. And teachers who were trained to teach math and English and science and weren't really trained to handle all the things that they were now expected to handle. And there are certain teachers, I think we all know who they are, who stand up, who stick their neck out, who take on that responsibility, who understand that if they don't do it, nobody else will. And so I just want to recognize each of you for coming not just today, but so many other times to this community. It's not in your union contract, right? It's not in your list of job responsibilities. You're here because your job is more than a job. So I just want to say thank you to each of them for coming. The school year's young. I hope we still can find you here, April, May, June. I also want to say it was about 10 years ago. I was in Brooklyn, New York. I was told a young senator who was running for president was speaking at the Brooklyn Marriott. And it would cost $10. And most of my friends didn't want to go, $10 to hear some guy we've never met before. Don't know who he is. So we went to see Barack Obama, myself and a friend. And there were about 75 people there. And I'll never forget, he opened with a story. He'd just come from South Carolina. And he was told by Representative Clyburn of South Carolina that he had to go to this community in a small town in South Carolina, way in the middle of nowhere. Took him, he said, from D.C. about 10 hours to get there, flying and then driving. And it was awful night, terrible weather. He gets to this community center that Representative Clyburn told him he had to go to. And he walks in with his entourage of 8, 9 people, and there are 4 people there. There are 4 people sitting in this community center. And so he was new at this presidential thing, running for office on a national scale, and he just stood up there and started giving his stump speech to 4 people in this community center. And when he was a few minutes in, suddenly he hears from outside this woman's voice, "Fired up!" And this group of people saying, "Fired up! Ready to go? Ready to go." And he kept talking. He didn't know what to do. He pauses, and then he just keeps giving his speech to these 4 people. Then he hears it again. "Fired up!" This woman getting closer. This group of people outside. "Fired up! Ready to go? Ready to go." And then he's trying to give his speech, and he keeps getting interrupted by these people outside. Suddenly, this woman comes walking in, and she's marching in, saying, "Fired up!" And there's this group of 10 people behind her, saying, "Fired up!" And Barack Obama, when he told the story, said, I didn't really know what was going on, but the more that it was happening, I was starting to get fired up. And when she said, "Ready to go," I was getting ready to go. And every time I come here, I think that woman is Pastor Ben. That she was out here starting 4 years ago and long before that, saying, "Follow me. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to stick my neck out. I may be the only one. There might be 3 people behind me. There might be 10. There might be 20. But we're going to keep on being fired up. We're going to be ready to go. We're going to keep on marching. Next thing you know, the mayor's going to be here, the chief of police, county executive, and it's all because of your dedication. So I want to say thank you. Look, the county goes as the city goes, and the state goes as the city goes. So we're very fortunate to have such a great partnership with Mayor Purzycki. Of course, Councilman Hollins, who many of you may not know, there is no leading expert and no one in this county, and probably this state, who's done more for affordable housing in this city and in this county than Councilman Hollins. So we're very enthusiastic about this partnership we have together and doing things together to build all parts of our city, most especially right here with the partnership of Pastor Ben. So when we heard the basketball net went down, some things Councilman Hollins is going to do, some things the mayor and the city are going to do, and some things where we see a need, we're going to come in and do. Together, we're going to build this thing. We're going to keep things positive so that these kids know that we got their back, just as Pastor Ben has their back. All right? Thank you. So I also need to recognize Dick's Sporting Goods. When we said, "Hey, we'll get you a basketball net," there was an installation cost that we thought was quite a bit. And Dick's Sporting Goods stood up and said, "Hey, for this cause, we'll do it free of charge." So they deserve a round of applause. as well. So I've never really dedicated a basketball hoop before. I hope you don't make me shoot. My defense and rebounding has always been better than my shot. But I just want to say thank you. Kids, there's some kids out there I know who are going to use it. Take responsibility of it. Take ownership of it. It's not any individual's. It's not like going to a friend's house. It's yours as much as it's mine or anybody else's. And with that in mind, as any teacher knows, if you have a basketball hoop, you need some rules. So we're going to be putting up our rules today as well. So thank you very much to all of you for coming today, and thanks for Pastor Beck.
Antoinette. Thank you. Thank you so much, County Executive Meyer. We are truly appreciative of everything that you all are doing. And just when I heard his story, you know, that's my dream over here, to have a community center. I got a building up there, Mayor. I've been talking to Lenny Sovereign. I keep emailing him. I'm not getting responses, but I keep emailing him because he told me we're going to take a tour. But I'm waiting. But I believe that's going to happen too, because as you see, we got children all over, and they keep coming and coming. They're excited now because they're signed up for the basketball tournament. So we had a sign-up sheet. Now they're coming in. The teenagers are the ones I'm worried about, and that's why we have the park, and they are in here every night. They broke the gate again. We had the city fix the gate, and they broke it again. And I'm so glad you said about ownership and taking care of it, because that seems to be a problem here. But we keep on going. I say, oh, well, you know, I've asked the police to come by and check on it, you know, at night, because we don't have it locked to the gate anymore to close it at 9 o'clock. But so far, they've been pretty good, and they leave on time. And but they are in here every night. Those teenage boys, they're the ones we're trying to get and keep them off the streets. And our girls, the girls coming to the church, and the little ones coming to the church for family fun night, but those teenage boys, they're the ones that be out in the streets. So we're just grateful to have it here, and we're thankful that you all see the vision that we have over here. All right, I want to take a few minutes just to thank our team members. As you see, all the green shirts are people that work with me through the Sun team and our church, Praying Ground Church. Some walk, some don't. They fuss at me. They said, we're not doing the walking part. We'll do the other parts. We'll help with it, things like that in the church, but they don't like to walk. But I do have a team of those who walk every week, and it's been very wonderful that, you know, they're not afraid to do that. I've been threatened. I've had situations where, you know, people say, well, if you're with so-and-so, we're going to kill you, and, you know, things like that. But I said, that's okay, because if you're going to get me, I'm out here in the open, because I'm not going to stop, because they have to see that God hasn't given us fear. So we just keep on doing what we have to do. But this year, I was blessed to have a special family, and they really have just chimed in and worked with us. And I have these little certificates. Well, I actually have one. I'm going to get one but I don't have your names on, because I don't have all the names. I'm getting old. I'll be 63 on next Tuesday. My birthday service is Sunday. You're all invited to the church. We're having a service on Sunday. But I am getting up there, so I don't remember all the names, but I have certificates for everybody that comes out. And but the Douglas family, I'm going to ask Antoinette and her sons. They're our newest team members. But they'll come. This woman, her house is a warehouse. Whatever I need, if I say I need chairs, oh, I got chairs. I need candles. Oh, I got candles. If I have paper, I got paper. Where they all at? They sing. And their father, he's not here, but he does a lot. He's a pastor as well. Where are they at? They're hiding from me. Malachi and Michael, Yash. You know, they just have been such a blessing. Without them, I wouldn't know what I would do. So y'all can put your names on there, because I didn't put the names. And you get
Michael's out there.
Michael's out there. He's hiding. Okay, he's hiding. Okay. All right. All my Praying Ground family, would you raise your hand? Raise your hand, the Praying Ground family. They're over here. My son, Crystal, and Sister Nikki. And we got two Nikkis. And Marquez, they're the reason why we have Family Fun Night. They help me out when I can't be, well, I'm here most of the time, but they keep things going for me, making sure the kids have snacks, and they're always there. So I thank God for them. And my son, he helped me write the school song, and he cuts all the grass, keeps everything going, keeps everything clean. So all of them are working together to help me with the program. I keep telling them we're all partners in one, working together to make our community better. And I have a special, I know they don't want certificates, but I have a special, you all can hang this up, teachers from Lombardi. Hang this somewhere in the staff room. This is for you all. I said I couldn't put all the teachers on there, but I wanted you to have something from Sun to recognize. So Well, and I've talked to the assistant principal. I've talked to the principal. So I'm getting to know everybody. And the teachers, I mean, I just can't believe this, but they actually want to use the church for parent conferences. They're going to be coming over through the year. I mean, they're not leaving me, I hear. For this year, they're not leaving me. So this is a blessing. Many of our children go to Lombardi, and this is the first time a school has offered to do all this. So I just appreciate it. And I have a special place in my heart for our Wilmington Police. It's just been, oh, there, Chief Tracy, Officer Conine, my buddy, stand up. And Captain Akil, there's some new faces, but there's some new police that really have come out this year. And I know it's because Chief Tracy has told them, you can't leave her alone. And he promised me, he said, from now on, you're always going to have somebody. And I think it's been 1 week since he said that someone didn't come. And, we still walk, but it's just so nice that people see the community policing, because I'm just such a believer in that. When I first started in Northeast Civic Association, they came to the meetings and things, and that dwindled out. But now Chief Tracy believes in it, and he makes sure they come back. And Officer Saunders is not here. He's on vacation. He's always here. And I don't know, want to give your name? Vidal, Officer Vidal, Captain Akil, you raise your hand? I didn't see her. He's hiding in the back. He likes to be quiet. John Holt. John Holt, all right. And the Holtz? Holmes. Okay. And I don't remember seeing you, but that's okay. We have some others that I haven't seen here tonight, but they come every week. So this is just a blessing. And the community, even though they may not always act like it, they're still killing, they're still fighting. But believe me, in this area, when I first came, all these houses were nothing but drug-filled and crack houses. Now Habitat has built new houses, and they built it because they said the church has stood the time. Because we had stayed here all that time, they said we can build here. So things have changed, and then in the past few years, it's still killing, but not as many. That's life right now, so that's what's happening with our young people. But it has come down some, so I'm just happy that we're able to keep it going, and this just encourages me not to give up. Because I know, and before I make sure I miss anybody. Our Peace Week, I don't know if anybody is here from our Peace Week team, but they were very diligent in sending all the information. And is anybody here representing Peace Week? They said someone were going to try and come. I'm on the team, but I don't know if anybody else came out. But we tried to combine all of this together, which worked out perfectly. I want to make sure I forgot anybody. Before we call on Chief Tracy, I just want to have my niece come, and she's going to read a resolution that was given to us by Councilwoman Hanifa Shabazz. So we're going to ask her, we didn't let you practice it either. A lot of whereases.
All right. City of Wilmington, Delaware City Council, sponsor Council President Hanifa Shabazz. Whereas Wilmington City Council is always grateful to organizations, community groups, and businesses that reach out to the community to help preserve and enhance the stability of Wilmington neighborhoods, and is particularly pleased about the success of Safe United Neighborhoods S.U.N. program in fostering these accomplishments. And whereas under the auspices of the Northeast Civic Association and the leadership of its president, Pastor Sandra Benz, S.U.N. volunteers shine brightly throughout the area through helping residents, businesses, and organizations to jointly engage in keeping their neighborhoods safe. And whereas S.U.N. was established to hold weekly walkthroughs in the neighborhoods and to develop and landscape S.U.N. Park to beautify the community, as well as to encourage community uses of the park and to keep youth safe and off the streets. And whereas S.U.N. has been a forerunner in innovative community building, and for the past 4 years, expanding and complementing the hard work of the Northeast Civic Association through the decades. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington that the City Council joins the members and supporters of the Northeast Civic Association in celebrating 4 successful years of bringing hope, stability, and great expectation to its residents, businesses, churches, and organizations. Wilmington, a place to be somebody.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hanifa Shabazz and Councilwoman Xanthia Oliver, Xanthia Oliver called me, and she wanted to be here, but it was a conflict with the meeting that they have, so they wanted to make sure that we had the resolution. She got on me, she said, you always have stuff when I have a meeting, but it's hard to schedule for everybody, but we do thank them for understanding our vision over here as well. Let me see, make sure I got everything. Okay, I don't think I missed anybody. We want to make sure that everybody fills out the Peace Week cards for next year. They'd like to get a record of who's coming, and we're also going to use that for our son attendance as well. And all those things are at the table. But before we do all that, we're going to ask Chief Tracy to come, and he's going to do our ending speech. And I just, again, appreciate him. And he's new to the area, but he has shown himself to be such a supporter already of everything that we're doing. And I remember when we first had our first conversation, I said, I like this man. I really like him. And I believe he's going to help the city. So, again, we appreciate you for coming. And we saved you for last because we know you like to have a little time. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pastor Ben. And welcome, Mayor, County Executive Matt Myers. Good to see you. And Councilman Hollins, how you doing, sir? And Lombardi School, and also all the students from Lombardi School. Who's that? You're from Lombardi? Yeah, I met you. We did a walk together. All the neighbors, all the residents, Pastor Ben, the officers that come here every week that do the walk on usually Fridays. Sometimes we switch it to Wednesdays. Our K-9 that come out here and do demonstrations, they're always here. And everyone else that's involved. And this is what this is about. This is about community. This is about an anchor. Pastor Ben is doing great work in what she's doing. And we in law enforcement, we talk about community engagement. And this is exactly what this represents. Pastor Ben and I met probably in my first month. She says, Chief, will you be coming? And I said, Pastor Ben, if I'm not here, I'm going to have my officers here. But you will see me the majority amount of the time. And I think that's what we've been doing, right? Correct? I got to be a man of my word and lead by example. And I really think it's appropriate. Pastor Ben said, hey, we do still have some violence, but there's less and less violence. And where we want to be is zero violence. Zero arrests, zero violence. And how we get there is this partnership and organizations and what we're doing today. So we can't do it alone. You know, between the mayor, the county executive, our elected official, the councilman that's here, we have to do this together. We have to do this with the community. We have to do this with the schools. Education is so big on how we're going to break the cycle and get out of this type of violence, and what you're doing is so important with these young men and women that are living in some of the challenged areas and some of the areas that are very good. So I commend the teachers that are here and the investment that you're making, because this is not done. It should be the norm, but this is more of the exception, and we want to do more of this of what you're doing. So congratulations on what the Lombardi School is doing. So, Pastor Ben, I will keep it short. I know you gave me a lot of time, but I see some barbecue going on. The mayor and I have to run off to another meeting down south, and we got to get running. So I'm going to say my goodbyes, but this is just the beginning. We're just scratching the surface. This is going to be part of our DNA in the Wilmington Police Department as far as community engagement, and we're only going to get better at it, and we've got a long way to go. So thank you very much for what you do. Take care, everyone.
We really thank everyone for coming out. Did I miss anything? Okay. I probably did miss someone, but again, we just thank everybody. And like you said, we just got to keep on trying. You know, 15 years I've been here, and I've seen changes, and I know there's going to be more changes because now people are really catching on. There's a song that I always use by Matthew West, and it says, you know, you're upset with God. And he said, God, I raised my fist to heaven. God, why don't you do something? And God said, I did. I chose you. And if not us, then who? If not me, then you. Right now, it's time for us to do something. So I believe in that, and we just keep on trying. And I know things are going to happen because we're all trying to work together. So I appreciate you all. Thank you again for coming. Please don't forget to donate in the little bucket. Hold the bucket up. $2 is all we're asking, but if you want to give more, we also have a pledge form you can fill out. We always put on Facebook if anybody wants to pledge $10 a month, $10 monthly. It goes for our snacks and things, activities that we have. You know, you may do that also for a yearly contract of $10 a month. We love that too. So whatever you can give, we appreciate it. The teachers bought all these hot dogs and hamburgers tonight, and all these rolls and chips, and you know, along with some of my church members bought different ones. My sister donated, different ones donated. So we have a lot of food for everybody. We have hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, sodas. I saw sodas. I thought we have juices, so that's even better. I don't need a soda, but I like sodas. So we have all that over there. So you're welcome to join us. All free. and everybody can have, you all stayed a lot longer than I expected. I love you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll be see you all next year again, but we'll see the teachers soon. All right, thank you. Stop at that table over there. Antoinette, get them.